Grindhouse means the imaginings and the manifestation of an ideal. So basically personal ideals that I have, like reclamation, salvage, reusing, reducing, recycling, ideals for a new generation, like creating things of value and an heirloom aspect. I don't want to make your knife, I want to make your grandson's knife. And I want it to stay in your family forever and be something that people really respect, and that is an easy thing to appreciate, that someone can hold in their hands, anyone can hold in their hands and appreciate on a certain level. I use reclaimed materials 90% of the time, so I find things and things find me, and I reimagine them into bladed tools. I use a lot of saw steel, old Bandamill saws, old large diameter mill saw blades or circular saw blades. And I just look for the qualities where you get a good eye for it, and you can see actually like what type of rust a metal is developing as to what kind of qualities it might have, as to shallow or deep hardening. I like the lottery of it, so that you really, you know you've got a winner, but you don't know if it's the big jackpot or if it might be just a good quality steel that doesn't look like much. The vintage saw steel requires a little bit more working, but what I don't necessarily pay up front in bar stock for financially, the hours go into it, and I don't mind putting the time into it, and the sweat equity, the sweat that goes into it, it makes up for it. But the carbon content is through the roof, and carbon is that hard molecule that you really want in a knife. And it's going to develop nicely because carbon steel is a staining steel, so it develops a patina and a legacy as soon as it starts being used. I really enjoy repurposing. I like finding old things that have that were useful in a bygone age, but let's face it, a two-man buck saw, it is very unlikely that I will ever saw another log again. But if I can get a hold of that and make a knife out of it, I can put it in your kitchen drawer, put it in your stable, and it can see use every single day. And keep that high quality bygone era alive in a new way, in a new imagining. I use a lot of reclaimed wood, so I'll grab, people will gift me a lot of figured woods that they find in their firewood pile. So I'll end up with highly figured fiddlebacks and bird's eye maple that was just cut from a tree randomly, and they ended up with this high figuring, and it'll find me. I reclaim old pallets. You can find pallets that were made in tropical countries like the Caribbean that have amazing hardwood, padauk, rosewood, bacote. You can find a lot of these woods that people have made pallets out of them. So, and I rip those apart, and I use that for my handle stock. Antlers, shed antlers that I find in the field while foraging. Anyway, I just really like imagining things, and I like free stuff. What I really like seeing is the knives come back to me. Everything I make is a lifetime warranty and lifetime service. So like I take care of it forever. I don't set them free, I just put a really long leash on them. So what I really enjoy seeing them come back. So seeing how it's being used in the field, hearing stories about how it's being used in the field, that's what I really like. That's the legacy right there. When it's brand new and shiny, that's great, but I like seeing them come back with a bit of stain on them and signs of use in the field. Creating something and getting that appreciation back is really rich. Like you can't put a value on that because you put so much of yourself personally into it. And this could sound like rhetoric, but you know, there's a piece of me that goes into every sheath and every knife. And when you carry it, I hope that what I've done will prove just to be an invaluable tool to you and an invaluable piece of legacy and an heirloom that you'll hope to hand on to other generations. Being in business for myself provides me with the best boss in the world. You know, I get to choose my own hours, so I choose 12 hours a day every day. You get a great appreciation for other entrepreneurs. Like you see people working hard and really doing their best with passion alone sometimes. But it's been a pretty big learning curve. Like it's, you can read all you want about it, you can study it, but when you're in there and doing it, it's business every day, day in, day out, and you have to make some shrewd decisions. Sometimes it's not easy and it's not pleasant, but it's got to be done. And you learn how to make these decisions. You learn the difference between an urgent decision and an important decision, and you hustle. You learn how to hustle hard, because at the end of the month the bills are due and there's no check waiting for you. Like whether you had a busy week or a slow week, it's not paid hourly. It's paid per hustle. Habitual. I'm a habitual hustler now. It's nice that Halifax and the Maritimes offers you a place to have a niche. I could go and be a professional bladesmith in Oregon and be one of 100. I could go and smith in Vermont and have a huge smithing community around me. There are great pros to that. I would love to be able to just sit down with other bladesmiths and talk all day, and to go and trade ideas and trade skills and work together with them. But here, you really have to go it alone. But at the same time, you're in a niche where people are very intrigued with what you do, and people don't take for granted what you do. And so there's no shortage of questions, and those questions are what drive you. They're what's telling you what people are interested in, and what you're feeling the response to what you're doing from them and their questions. And you're getting new ideas about what their actual needs are, because I'm here to respond to needs of the public. At the end of the day, there are dollars and cents that need to be made, and I need to find out things that people need and are willing to compensate for. I don't think I could do what I'm doing anywhere else, where I'm given a metropolis or a center, a population center for the East Coast anyway, where people have a pretty broad education and are well versed in the quality of things and have a great appreciation for the arts. There's a huge arts community here already. I feel like I'm just piggybacking on top of those. And those people are finding me in the art that I make and have an inherent appreciation for it. The work that goes into craft and supporting your crafters, like supporting people that are committing their lives to a craft. I know myself, and I can name dozens of others in Halifax alone, who live from their craft and are 100% committed to the craft. Like, every knife I make is going to get better than the last. I know that I'm committed to that extent. And I know that others are too. So finding organizations like the Halifax Crafters Society, like they're making craft from the ground up and creating a culture of craft that is bringing back heirloom quality goods, and goods that can be used every day and easily appreciated on any level. Really think about that. Think about supporting your local craftsmen around the holiday season when you're buying gifts. Big box stores, they employ a lot of locals, and they do what they do, and they have their place in our modern society. But I'd like to think that we're moving towards an era where they maybe don't have as much of a place, and we can go back to keeping it local and keeping it crafty.